Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins have received some tough news regarding their search for a potential replacement for Jalen Ramsey. According to reports from ESPN's Rob Demovsky and NFL insider Adam Schefter, it appears that the Green Bay Packers and their star cornerback Jaire Alexander may be close to a resolution that keeps him in Green Bay, despite previous speculations that he might be traded or released. This news is a significant blow for the Dolphins, who were targeting Alexander as one of their top candidates to replace the veteran cornerback after parting ways with Ramsey. With this development, the Dolphins will now have to reassess their options as they continue to search for a veteran presence to bolster their secondary. The Dolphins have made it clear they are in the market for a cornerback with experience, having waited until the 5th round of the NFL draft to select a cornerback. Alexander, a two-time Pro Bowler and a two-time All-Pro second-team honoree, was seen as the ideal fit to fill the void left by Ramsey. While Alexander struggled with a PCL injury in his right knee last season, limiting him to just 7 games, he has proven to be one of the best corners in the league when healthy. The prospect of having a shutdown corner like Alexander in their defensive backfield seemed promising for the Dolphins, but now, with the possibility of him remaining in Green Bay, their search takes on a new urgency. With Alexander seemingly off the table, the Dolphins are left with a more challenging task of finding a suitable replacement. The remaining pool of free agent cornerbacks is largely filled with players who are either past their prime or still unproven at the highest level. However, there is one name that stands out among the free agents, and that's Asante Samuel Jr., the young cornerback, who played out his rookie contract with the Los Angeles Chargers, has shown flashes of brilliance over his first 3 seasons in the league. Despite missing most of last season due to a neck and shoulder injury, Samuel had already established himself as one of the top cornerbacks for the Chargers, making him an intriguing option for the Dolphins. Samuel has accumulated impressive statistics in his first 3 years in the NFL, recording 163 tackles, 6 interceptions, 35 pass deflections, 3 tackles for loss, and a fumble recovery. At just 25 years old, Samuel is entering the prime of his career, and the Dolphins could secure him on a long-term deal. Samuel's youth, combined with his experience, makes him an ideal candidate to fill the cornerback void in Miami. The Dolphins could potentially lock him down for several years, allowing him to grow alongside their young defense while providing stability in the secondary. At 25, Samuel is not only a standout player, but also someone who has already experienced the intensity of playoff football. While his injury history could raise concerns, his ability to perform at a high level when healthy makes him one of the most attractive options for Miami. His presence could allow the Dolphins to move forward with confidence, knowing they have a capable cornerback in place to help them compete in the AFC East. As the Dolphins continue to evaluate their needs, Samuel could emerge as the best available target in free agency, and it's clear that they will be keeping a close eye on his situation as the offseason unfolds. Of course, free agency is not the only avenue the Dolphins could explore to improve their cornerback situation. There are several potential trade targets who could become available in the coming weeks. Players like Deommodore Lenoir, Denzel Ward, and Jamal Dean are all names that have been floated as possible trade candidates. Lenoir, in particular, could be on the move if the San Francisco 49ers decide to fully embrace a rebuild, which could open the door for a trade. Meanwhile, Dean has been the subject of trade rumors throughout the offseason, and Ward could also be a potential target if the Dolphins make the right offer. Any of these players could help solidify Miami's secondary. The Dolphins have not been shy about exploring trade options to improve their defense, and with Ramsey likely to be traded or released in the near future, the urgency to bring in a replacement is growing. While the Dolphins' defense has some promising pieces, they remain thin at cornerback, and a major upgrade is needed if they want to contend for a playoff spot in the competitive AFC. Adding a proven cornerback to the roster is a critical step in ensuring the team's defense is capable of keeping up with the high-powered offenses in the league. The Dolphins know they must address this need quickly, and their next move will be pivotal for their chances in the 2025 season. The pressure is mounting on the Dolphins to make a move, but they are also in a unique position. With Ramsey's tenure in Miami nearing its end, the Dolphins are likely to have some sort of plan in place to replace him. Whether it's through a free agent signing, a trade, or a combination of both, the team must act swiftly. They can't afford to go into the season with a weak cornerback group, especially given the high expectations surrounding the team after an active offseason. The Dolphins have shown a commitment to contending, making it clear that they are willing to do what it takes to compete for a playoff spot, and adding a top cornerback is a necessary step in that direction. As the offseason continues, the Dolphins' plans will become clearer. They've been actively exploring ways to upgrade their roster, and the cornerback position remains a top priority. While the news about Jaire Alexander staying in Green Bay is a setback, it's far from the end of the road for the Dolphins. There are still several options on the table, and the front office will need to make strategic moves to ensure the team is ready for the challenges ahead. Whether it's signing a free agent like Asani Samuel Jr. or swinging a trade for a player like Jamal Dean, the Dolphins know that the right cornerback can make all the difference in their pursuit of a successful season. In the coming weeks, fans will be closely watching the Dolphins' next moves as the team continues to search for a solution to their cornerback dilemma. With the stakes higher than ever, the Dolphins' front office has no time to waste. As they look to put together a championship-contending roster, one of the most crucial pieces will be securing a cornerback capable of shutting down opposing receivers and giving their defense the edge it needs. The road to the 2025 season may be uncertain, but the Dolphins' commitment to winning is clear, and they will do whatever it takes to make sure their secondary is ready for the challenge. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? The NFL landscape has been shaken to its core with a move that no one, absolutely no one, saw coming. Josh Allen, the long-reigning quarterback of the Buffalo Bills and the heart and soul of their offense, has signed with the Miami Dolphins. That's right. The face of the Bills, the man who had become a symbol of hope and swagger in Buffalo, is taking his talents to South Beach in a blockbuster signing that's already being called one of the most shocking developments in recent league history. And yes, this changes everything in the AFC East. Literally everything. Let's not understate this. Josh Allen was the Buffalo Bills. Drafted in 2018 as a raw but immensely talented quarterback from Wyoming, he quickly silenced the doubters. Year after year, he improved. He grew from a big-armed, sometimes reckless playmaker into a full-blown MVP candidate and one of the most feared quarterbacks in the NFL. Under his leadership, the Bills became perennial contenders, making deep playoff runs, dominating the AFC East, and coming oh so close to reaching the Super Bowl on multiple occasions. His chemistry with Stefon Diggs, his bulldozing runs, his highlight reel plays, he brought a sense of purpose and fire to a franchise that had wandered in mediocrity for decades. So how did we get here? How did a player so synonymous with Buffalo Blue and Red end up signing with their divisional rival? According to early reports, tensions had been brewing behind the scenes. Whispers about a deteriorating relationship between Allen and the front office began to circulate after last season's disappointing playoff exit. Stefon Diggs' public frustrations may have only been the tip of the iceberg. There were rumors of misalignment over offensive philosophy, the departure of key coaching staff, and an overall feeling from Allen's camp that the organization wasn't evolving fast enough to match his ambitions. Still, no one thought it would come to this. The Bills picked up Allen's fifth-year option, extended him with a massive contract, and built their identity around him. But sometimes, money isn't the problem, vision is. And apparently, the vision Allen had for his future wasn't lining up with the one in Buffalo. When the Dolphins came calling with a once-in-a-lifetime offer, reportedly featuring a fully guaranteed deal and full control over offensive schemes, Allen listened. And when he looked at that Miami roster, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, a young, aggressive defense, and an innovative offensive system, he saw something Buffalo was no longer providing. The promise of something new. The promise of winning his way. And let's talk about the Dolphins for a second. They just flipped the entire AFC East chessboard upside down. Miami had been building something special, inching closer to elite status over the past few seasons under Mike McDaniel. But questions always lingered about their quarterback situation. Tua Tagovailoa had flashes of brilliance, but struggled with injuries and consistency. As much as fans wanted to believe he was the answer, it always felt like the Dolphins were a quarterback away from being that team. And now? Now they've got Josh Allen. Not just a good quarterback, a franchise-changing quarterback. A superstar who walks into the locker room and instantly raises the ceiling on every player around him. This move doesn't just make the Dolphins better. It tilts the entire balance of power in the AFC. The Jets, who were already counting on Aaron Rodgers making a triumphant return, now face an even tougher road. The Patriots, still searching for identity in the post-Brady era, are pushed further into the division's shadows. And the Bills? They're left to pick up the pieces. The Josh Allen era is over in Buffalo, and there's no clear successor in sight. Fans are reeling. The team is scrambling. What was once one of the most stable franchises in the NFL is now swimming in uncertainty. And the timing couldn't be more brutal. The AFC is stacked. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs aren't going anywhere. Joe Burrow is coming back healthy. Lamar Jackson is still Lamar Jackson. And now, the Dolphins have entered that elite conversation with a vengeance. Allen doesn't just give them a top-tier QB. He gives them swagger, leadership, and playoff credibility. Imagine Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle catching bombs from one of the strongest arms in football. Imagine defenses trying to game plan for Allen's legs and that speed on the outside. It's a nightmare scenario for defensive coordinators across the league. But perhaps the most intriguing part of this whole saga is the emotional weight behind it. Josh Allen leaving the Bills isn't just a player changing teams. It's the unraveling of an era. It's a gut punch to a fan base that believed they had found their chosen one. It's a reminder that in the NFL, loyalty is fragile, windows close quickly, and the game moves forward, brutally and relentlessly. For Buffalo, this will hurt for a long time. For Miami, this feels like the dawn of something special. Josh Allen in a Dolphins jersey, that's going to take some getting used to. But make no mistake, he didn't come to Miami to retire on the beach. He came to win. And if the Dolphins play this right, if they build around him the way Buffalo once did, this team could be hoisting a Lombardi sooner than anyone expected. The Dolphins have been waiting decades for a quarterback like this. Not since Dan Marino have they had someone capable of carrying a franchise on his back like Allen can. The stakes just got a whole lot higher in the AFC East. So what happens next? Expect a flurry of activity. Miami will need to make cap space, sure, but they're all in. This is the kind of move that forces rivals to reassess everything. The Jets may go even harder in the trade market. The Patriots might finally commit to a full rebuild. And the Bills? They're entering uncharted territory without their star. A new quarterback, a new identity, a new era, but one that starts with heartbreak. The 2025 season is shaping up to be a wild ride. All eyes will be on South Beach. All cameras will be pointed at Josh Allen. The NFL scriptwriters have outdone themselves this time. One of the league's brightest stars has found a new home, and in doing so, he's reignited one of the NFL's fiercest rivalries with gasoline. Get ready, folks. The AFC East is no longer just competitive, it's a war zone. And the Dolphins, for the first time in a long time, have the upper hand. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.